My goal in today's video is to improve my rating from 2200 all the way up to 2250 in less than 1 hour. Now, whenever I'm doing these kinds of things, you know the drill. It's not all the games that I include in a stream. And the reason is I don't want to bore you to death. Some games are very boring and non-educational or non-instructional. So if I skip some games, never mind. I'm just doing you a favor. No boring games. Right, let's go. Today, my goal is to cross 2250. You can see my current blitz rating is 2200. So let's see if I'm able to achieve that. And I'll be very fast, just so I can keep up with my opponent's speed. You know, sometimes I lose a lot of games when I do a lot of explanations. It's not easy doing 3 things at once: playing, thinking, and giving commentary. So the next plan is pawn to s6. That wasn't an excuse, by the way. So I'm playing against a player rated 2203. Fair fight. Let's see how this will go. I think I'm supposed to take and attack the queen for now. I'm willing to sacrifice my kingside pawns for an easy attack on the king side. I love doing this all the time. So instead of retreating my rook, knight g6 is what I find attractive. If possible, I'll play bishop e5. So with knight g6, I'm also protecting my rook. There's a way I can trap that knight, I guess. I mean the queen. So let's go queen h4 for now, as if I'm just giving up material. Looks like I'm just giving up a pawn on d5, and it also looks like I just want to castle long. Yep, the real idea was to play bishop e5. Guess I can just take. Let's oversimplify things for now. I don't need to lose material anyhow. Yeah, so we castle long and play rook g8. At best, I'm remaining with many attacking opportunities. Bishop f4 to come next. I can still play bishop f4, I guess. Oh, let's do it this way. Not only do I have knight f3 check to win the rook, but I'm also intending to go knight f4. Yeah, like here I can play knight f4, I guess. Or let's attack the rook. This is the best way to win the pawn, maybe. Or make white become passive. Be careful, I have knight takes c2. I think I can just go back, I don't know. I need to centralize my other rook. Perhaps I can win a free pawn in this position. Don't know what I should do. Let's take, let's check. So not only winning a free pawn, but 2 pawns. Let's defend. Why not? Not giving up free things for now. Okay, so I'm going to lose that pawn, but it's fine. Maybe a pin will do. Yeah, I think I'll just play rook d8, pinning the knight to the rook if the capture happens. Let's go after that pawn. Like I said, we pin the knight to the rook. Yeah, I think I'm good. Black wins in this position. Ah, not really. That was a brilliant save. Give a check. If I'm not careful, this can result into a draw, and that'll be so painful. But let me try my level best to protect whatever I can protect. I think I just have a passer, so there's something I can make out of this. Okay, so I made a silly blunder, and this is not good either, but there's always something I can do. Let's do this. That was not good. Give a check. I think I can give another check. Nope. I think this is the right spot. Start pushing. Matching to Zion. Okay, so this was a very poor game. Yep, it was. I need to pull up my socks if I want to cross 2250 in today's stream. So let's do this again. All right, second game. Let's go. Welcome to the Sicilian. So I'm going to play the Smith Mora. Okay, my opponent played the closed line. Again, I'll try as much as possible to be fast because I don't want to lose on time. Queen d2, preparing for bishop h6. Yeah, I can just take, why not? I'm already down a pawn, so I need to be super active. And that's the idea of the Smith Mora, by the way. With bishop c5, I'm preventing castling for the time being. So let's go, yeah, bishop a4, pinning the knight. I think now I can retreat my knight, my bishop. I think pawn to f5 was going to kill my bishop. Or maybe I'm just daydreaming or something. Let's attack the knight. Maybe I had something also. Yep, my bishop wasn't going to die because of that move that I just played. Just realized that. So now I'm thinking maybe I should take. Let's take. Let's attack the queen. Yeah, I think I'm good in this position. I should be great. This should be great. Yeah, the key in the Smith Mora is just to be aggressive, very aggressive. Yeah, let's continue being aggressive. Why not? I'm not sure if this is going to work. And I'm super low on time, which is one thing I need to work on in these blitz formats. I need to centralize my rook. So f4 prevents queen e5 for now. Not super happy with my decision though. Anyway, let's keep pushing. Are there any checks? All I know is black can't take on c3 due to queen takes bishop. The last squad bishop is hanging. Again, not a great game, but I'm just surviving. That's all I can say for now. There's a nasty discovery there. I can see it. Maybe let me just take. Not a good game. Let's pin the pawn. Maybe I'll play pawn to f6. I think this will help for now. Okay, my 2358 rated opponent blundered, checkmate in one. Okay, so I skipped some boring games. The journey still continues. Let's play the Benko Gambit. So this is where we go pawn to b5 on move number 3 and s6, kind of the reversed wing gambit, if you may. Here I'm supposed to play d6. I'll capture that pawn later. So let's finish our kingside development. The queen's knight is supposed to go to d7. Yeah, so this is a very weird Benko gambit, but it's fine. It is what it is. We're going to get there. Yep. So need to find a way to exchange bishops. So let's go a5 for now. Then bishop s6. The knight goes back to d7. So this time the f knight. And next up, knight e5. I remember covering some of these ideas in my new course. Feel free to check it out at KaspaChess.com. Yeah, so the goal is to cross 2250. If time allows, I might even go all the way up to 2300. I don't know. So let's attack the queen. Queens are supposed to be attacked. What next? I don't know. Let's stop pawn to f4 for now. Retreat. I think I'll just play pawn to h6 on the next move. Check is coming, so I need to be careful. Perhaps retreating my knight. Yep. I have knight d7 and knight e5. So this is how I'm going to play this. I don't know if this is the right time to attack the knight, one of the knights. Or maybe let's relocate our knight. The knight is supposed to sit on e5. I should also play or think of playing knight f. Okay, my opponent stopped that. So let's get rid of that. It was very annoying at that point. And the idea with knight e5 is to play knight d3, but white didn't allow. Yep, so let's keep matching to Zion. You know, I'm still not safe. I'm not feeling safe. I need to sort out one or two things. This isn't what I expected to see in the banko. My opponent closed the banko. Yep, so my opponent played the closed banko. Let's do this. Now this is getting weird. Yeah, white should take here. I mean, there was no need to do that. Absolutely no need to do what my opponent just did. So with this move, queen a8, I just want to take on b3 and start attacking on the queen side. My position looks very shaky, to be honest. It is so shaky and very compromised. Maybe my opponent is looking for a draw. I mean, I don't mind. I have a very bad position. Let's take, why not? And give a check. Let's go in with the queen. I think I can pin that now. This is the game of pins. We pin pieces. And next up, rook c8. Maybe I'm going to lose on time or something. I don't know. Is this checkmate or something? It's going to be checkmate. Yep. Okay, so I was lucky to checkmate this guy, but things didn't go well in the end game. Simply because my opponent declined my banko gambit. Yep. Instead of taking on s6, they played pawn to b6. This is one way of punishing the banko. And the opening went so well. I did everything right, except somewhere here. Yep. When I allowed bishop h6 and that, I think even up to now, I was doing fine. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't know where I messed up. I guess I had a lot of weaknesses, but all in all, I ended up winning the game, which explains that my opponent wasn't comfortable either. I mean, for them to blunder like that in the end game, yep, it wasn't the best game again, but I'm still pushing, right, towards my goal. So let's continue. Okay, so I'm remaining with 11 elo to reach 2250. So let's do this. I was distracted. So let's go with the two knights. And this is my new line that I play against the d3 Italian. The idea is to put the dark squad bishop on b6. White can't play pawn to d4 due to pawn takes. Or they can, but it won't be that easy. So now I can safely go, or let's start with f5. Then pawn to d6, h6. So d6, knight e7, and knight g6. That's my middle game strategy, not yours. Yep, so now my blitz rating is 2239. Looks like I'm going to achieve my goal. Yep, and I'm doing well on time now. It's good to catch up. Let's cast a shot. Queen b3 attacks the pawn on f7. Okay, now there's too much pressure on f7. Let's defend that pawn many times. If knight takes, I'll be glad to take. Don't be afraid to lose your rook for the bishop and knight. So now I go for my strategy. Knight h5, knight hf4. Next. So that's the Nimzovic strategy there. I need to put my king on h8 or on h7 to free up my f pawn. Or maybe I should play... Wait a second. Something does not look right in this position. What if I just play pawn to f5, all these bishop d3 in the near future, or queen c2? Takes, let's try this. I mean, what are we doing? I know there's a pin in the long run, but maybe I have pawn to e4 or something like that. Yeah, like after queen c2, I can play e4. Or first start with pawn to d4. White can't play bishop d3. And so my opponent just decided to take, but I have knight takes. That's check, for those who don't know. If pawn takes, I win the knight. Or I get the knight. Can still take the knight or the pawn. Yeah, that's a free pawn. If bishop takes knight, I have bishop takes bishop. Again, I'm just making these things up on the board. So let me start with a check, I guess. Just running away from some useless attacks. Am I going to lose a piece or something? Takes. Let's see what white is going to do. Now I'm not going to lose anything. I don't think that was the right move to play. So let's start with this. Okay. I don't mind giving up my rook. Yeah, because my capture comes with check. And then I can involve my other rook into the game. Let's go for checkmate. I don't know why my opponent didn't capture. What to do? I think this should be checkmate somehow, right? What if I just retreat? Consider this video a friendly awareness campaign for my new chess course titled The Offbeat Openings Killer Repertoire for Black. Okay, so 5 more elo to go for me to cross 2250 or to reach 2250. Against the Scandinavian, let's go with the Vanjit. Knight takes. Yep, this is what I'm going to do. Kind of the Caro-Kann if you think about it. Waiting for bishop g4. Are they going to play bishop g4? That's the most common move here. I'm bored, so let me just sacrifice. There's a high possibility, there's a high probability the game won't go well. But A lot of people don't know the best continuation in this line. For black, I think I can just play bishop d2 here, bishop d2 followed by rook e1 in the near future. That's all I remember. Yep, a lot of people struggle with this line. Yeah, like what if I just play queen h5? What is my opponent going to do? Right? Yeah, like there's nothing much apart from just giving up the queen, and I'll be up an exchange. Yep, so this was a 23-23 rated opponent. Once again, I had to skip some boring games that I thought were not so educative. Yep. If you check my Elite Chess account, I don't only skip the games that I'm losing, you know, I also skip some games that I win. This game is over, but my opponent doesn't want to resign. Bad sportsmanship. G6. Just wanted to make that clear. If pawn to f6 or f5, I have pawn to g6 and queen h8 met. So there's no pawn to, yep, that's what I was talking about. Let's do that. Yeah, the best black can do, yep, is to sacrifice, but this is too late. They should have done this a long time, but they decided to waste their time. So let me up my king. Come on. And let's pin that knight. Again, pin the knight. Oversimplify things. Take. Attack. Yep, game over. So, yep, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm now officially rated 2252. So I managed to achieve my goal in this one stream. Let me know what you want me to do in the next video. Probably I'll try to climb from 2252 up to 2300. And hey, remember to check out my new course at KaspaChess.com, which is titled The Offbeat Openings Killer Repertoire for Black. It's an amazing course. You will learn how to beat most offbeat openings like the English opening, the Nimzolassen attack, the Knight F3 Zukertort, the King's Indian structures, and let's just say all other Fianchetto systems, including the Stonewall attack. Yep. So you lose most games because you don't know how to beat offbeat openings. You concentrate more on studying open games and common openings like the King's Pawn, the Queen's Pawn. So it is time for you to make a change, become a complete player. Yeah,